Hey guys, Rodney McClure and old Tint Master B, Bruce Kelly here at Ace Window Tint. We're going to do a little tutorial on this 2010 Mustang, virgin glass, really nice car. Probably mundane stuff to some of you people, some of you new guys. This is for you. This is going to be sort of a consumer-based window tint video too, because a lot of times people are checking prices on tint. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, price without service is no bargain. And just because a tint is 20%, 30%, 5% don't mean all tints are created the same. The film we use, the manufacturer has been in business since 1957, and that says a lot. We think enough of the film that we stake our reputation on it. So here goes. First things first, on these vehicles with open frame windows, we do what we call a shaved edge or a no gap or a flush edge. For you consumers, if you ever see a car in a parking lot that has a window like this, look and see if you see a big gap on this. That tells a tale on certain things on vehicles. Does it mean somebody's better than somebody else or it's a better film? Has nothing to do with that. It just tells you that the people that does the work takes pride in what they do. Now when you open this door, this window drops down 1/4 inch for compression reasons when you close the door. So if in fact you try to tint this window with it like this and cut it on here, you're going to have a gap. So you see this amount of distance here? We take this and do what we call shrink the window. We watch the window go up. When we do that, what that does, that puts the window in the closed position on the door, which raises. So he's already scraped this window, scrubbed it, so I'm just going to start off by squeegeeing this window, put it in the position it needs to be to tint. This is called the link. It's a tool that we make. It's the missing link between a hard card and a squeegee. So we're going around this, and once we do that, we take this lint-free rag. Mind you, it is not a microfiber. It is a lint-free cloth specifically designed for stuff like this. Now once we've moved all this solution over to there, we'll take another tool. I'm going to push back on this window and finish squeegeeing down in this crack. It's like this. Same thing over here. The reason I push it on the window, it creates a gap between all these seals for the solution to fall down into. We'll do it one more time like this. Flush it again. Window. I'm going to do what I call a tack cloth method. I'm going to wipe the rest of this window one more time with this lint-free rag. A lot of folks are cringe at this, and hey, it's to each his own. It's a method. I'll never tell you my method's better than yours. I just been doing it 37 years, and this works for me. Bruce and I, we do things quite differently on a scale, but at the end of the day, we have one conclusion. We try to be the best we can be. That then in turn relates to a happy customer. Disgruntled customer, buyer's remorse is the worst thing you could ever have in this industry. Alright, with that done, that one was prepped. I'm going to pre-wet this down here. I'm pulling the seal back with this zip loader. I could have moved the camera over to this side, but I like to stick the film on the glass about 1/4 inch back from the front, 1/4 inch up from the bottom. Lay it up on the window. Then I'll push on the door, push the film down this groove. Then I'll slide the zip loader right over here to the front, create a gap where I can slide the film right down in there. Bring it back over in the back. Now we put this film at least 1/8 inch behind this seal and almost a full 1/4 inch below the seal. This way we have no issue with the film hanging on anything as this window is lit up and down. Now, after we do this, we have a dwell time. We tint these door glasses first, just for the simple fact that we want them to bond up while we're tinting the rest of the vehicle. First, we're going over it with our judge blade, and we try to work from the center at a sweeping angle this way to push the film back to the corners. This is one of the windows that we will post-heat with a torch or a heat gun when we're finished. is our banker blade. We're taking this, running down here where the fingers would normally gather, pushing to the outside corners. Now we're going to take our standard knife, the stainless blade, and this was that flush mounted edge I was talking to you about earlier. Usually the case is mostly the only people that ever look at this part of a window is other window tinters. My buddy Sammy Graham, he's in Tennessee. He says window tinters are prima donnas. He says we're all picky and finicky for the most part. People that are true to the trade. People that live to tint and people that tint to live are two different people. He might explain that to you. I just take him for his word. We believe in showing you close-ups of everything we do. Now once that's done, we'll take a genuine sledgehammer blade on a handle so you really put some grunt into it, and we squeegee this thing out. This is called extraction. There again, we designed and purpose-built these tools for nothing but extraction. There are some people that design and build tools just to sell them to you. And just so there's no confusion in what we're doing here, we build tools that work for you. There's not a lot of money made on them. There's a lot of time spent on it, but then again, there's not a lot of money made on them. So there is a difference. When you've got people that do it for the love of the industry, then you're good to go. But anyway, that's got that. I'll show you a close-up later on. This thing's on a tripod. I'm gonna turn the camera a little crooked here so you can see this edge. That's a shaved edge, that is not filed. That's how they're supposed to look. Okay guys, we're gonna show you a little something here on this. This is our SP9. We're just gonna mist this stuff on here for a dry shrink. Let that dry for a second while I get my stuff together. Not much to get together. We got a shrink card and a shrink glove. Sometimes after I do it, I'll take my shrink glove, just rub over this and lay it down. The smoother this window, when you shrink it, the smoother your film's gonna be. When you float it, dry shrink it, and shrink the whole piece of film, you're far better off, less stress on the film, and it works better. It's just a fact. 37 years I've learned that. A lot of times we'll have two people put the big piece of film on like this, but if you're ever working by yourself and you don't want to crease the film, you can get the film close to where you want it, like this. Feed you some off back like this. Just feed it across the glass in a manner that you sort of push it across. And it lays right down just like that. I'm gonna slide this piece of film up. This will get about a 60-40 split on the shrink, meaning 60% tack line. Tack just the middle. A lot of people worry about that using carbon blade, stainless blade. If you get you a wrapping paper cutter, you can trim on this thing and never ever scratch the back glass. I always make sure I throw my scrap, remnants, whatever you'll call it, up on top of the vehicle, because I don't want to slip and fall on it, because it does get slick. I don't tack these sides. I like to leave them loose so I can move it around. And when I do that, then like I say, I'm able to move the film when I'm working with it, maneuver it where I want it. I'm gonna lift this, put a little bit of heat under there, drop it down, and I always work from my corners in. I don't like to paint myself into a corner. That's what you can do. If you shrink all your film up in the middle, and then you got a bunch of film over here, nowhere to go, and you try to run it this way, you can't shrink in this direction. You shrink to the factory edge. So I start with the corners, work them down, then fill the center in, then you're good to go. Do a float shrink, as I call it. I shrink a whole lot of fluff out of it before I finish it. What I mean by shrinking a bigger area is exactly what I'm doing. I'll shrink a big area of the core, taking the chance of shrinking small areas and stressing the film. Same thing over here. We'll fluff air up under it, drop it down. I'm gonna move this film over here, and that's this way I can control my fingers to where I want them. Divide that one off, divide that one, that one, that one. This is what I'm telling you about shrinking a bigger area. I'll lift it up, same thing again. Now I'm going to tack this corner right here down, just like I did on the other side. And divide these fingers off just like this. Shrink a little out. Divide this one again. I'm going to roll with it up through here. I think this is a 10, do a 13 and 14. They changed the back windows and the quarter glasses, if I'm not mistaken. Now, with all that said, you see how I'm fluffing this up under here. I'm just going to work this whole thing down. I thought it was funny, some guy was making fun of people who shake the heat gun. Does it make any difference? No. It's whatever you're comfortable with. You can hold this thing steady, move it smooth, whatever you want to do. As long as you're getting it there and you're not holding the same spot so you scorch your film or burn it or crisp it, curl it, whatever you want to call it, you're good to go. But when I'm making this video, somebody, when they start watching, gonna be going, man, I could have had that thing shrunk twice as fast. You know.
Somebody's always got something to say.
But you know what's funny is then when we tint a whole Suburban in 20 minutes and you're doing it too fast, I'm going slow because I'm explaining what I'm doing. Some people understand that, some people appreciate it. Some people comment just to be commenting. Then you got some people that ought to have their fingers tied together on the keyboard and their lips bleed shut. You're going to get their heads bashed. But Anyway, they're out there. Now this right here is when we finish it up with a card. This is sort of like wet checking. The beauty of this stuff is you can mash it right down to the glass and it sticks once you do this. And I have used a lot of shrink cards before, and the general design of this thing is that of the smart card. Never was much on anybody that spelled Tint with a Z or card with a Z, but this is a shrink card duck, not a Z. So, anyway, rumor is you can't even get smart cards right now for some reason. You get your new tattoo? Oh, you're a gasket pro. Yes, sir. If you come over here and hold it, I'll burn around it with your arm and it's branded in there.
Yeah, I'll just look at you.
You don't keep it like that. Well, we have these cards on our site. They come equipped with slip tape, not felt that burns up, and felt that will scratch whatever you're putting it on. Be it PPF, be it vinyl, even the slightest, it's Oracal 651. That felt that ever gets anything trapped in it and it gets hard, it's gonna scratch it. That's done. Now I'm gonna show you guys what also makes this shrink aid, the SP9, such a joy to work with. I'm gonna lay this back like this. Now, again, this water under here is on the inside of the back glass. I don't care what brand shrink aid you use, you can't do this right here. Wipe it off and be done with it. And believe me and Bruce have tried everything. I tried some dry shampoo, we tried deodorant, we tried car wax, we tried this and that. We just tell you like it is and what's worked for us. I've been doing it 37, you've been doing it how long? Add that up, you're quicker on math now. How many years is that right here in one spot? 61 years. Anyway, that's almost as long as Phil's been in the business. Anyway, after shrinking this one the way we do it, and we cut it really close to the edge, you see how this lays on these dots. The squeegee technique that Bruce uses, he wouldn't let me show that. He's sort of particular about that. But this stuff lays down, all the water goes out. You have zero issues with it. Same on these quarter glasses. When you do these things, you do them right, they look like they're supposed to look. And there is a difference in price with service. And the service we offer is second to none. Anyway, we'll show you a little more footage here in a few minutes. Well, as promised, we're just going to show you some footage when the Mustang was finished. Here's some up close on just the standard shaved edge. We tinted the tail lights. We removed the section where the backup lights is at. We tinted the third brake light, and we tinted all the marker lights on it. It's just a little 2010 model with 5%, a windshield strip, and all the marker lights, tail lights, and third brake light tinted.